Okay, so in this session we will see pharmacognosy, important points from your alkaloids. Okay, you know that there are two kinds of metabolites in the plant, primary metabolite and secondary metabolites. So whatever carbohydrate, proteins, lipids, okay, cellulose, etc., starch, protein, carbohydrate, lipids, vitamins, cellulose, lignin, etc. All these are considered as the primary metabolites of the plant because they are essential for the energy and building block, energy requirement and building block of plant. So those are known as the primary metabolites. And then there are there are another class of metabolite known as secondary metabolite, which have the function, different kind of function. Like alkaloids will have different kind of function, glycosides will have different kind. So such other metabolites, they are known as secondary metabolites of the plant. For example, alkaloids are there, glycosides are there, terpenoids are there, okay, terpenoids, steroids are there, phenolic acids are there, lignans are there, flavonoids are there, tannins are there. Okay, these are all are known as the secondary metabolites of plant. Alkaloids, they are also present in the various plants. We will see in the detail glycosides, then terpenes, glycosides. Glycosides will also have different type of glycoside like anthraquinone glycosides, cardiac glycosides, saponin glycosides. Okay, so we'll discuss in the upcoming lectures that particular secondary metabolite in the details. Uh, as far as your GPAT Niper is concerned, not like your semester exams. Okay, then phenolic acid, coumarin, lignans, flavonoids, lignin. So these are the some secondary metabolites of plant. Okay, so for example, alkaloids. So there are different kind of alkaloids. There are depending upon the heterocyclic ring present, depending upon the heterocyclic ring present in the structure. They are classified in different way. Okay, so those are known as alkaloids. Particularly, alkaloids will have nitrogen in their heterocyclic ring. Okay, then fixed oils are there, then volatile oils are there, then glycosides are there. So glycosides means they will have some base plus sugar. Those two are attached with the glycoside bond. So those are the glycosides. We'll see in the detail. It's just information regarding the different secondary metabolites. कितने टाइप के होते हैं? Alkaloids, glycoside, terpenes, volatile oils, cardiac glycosides, sterols, coumarin, lignan, flavonoids, tannins, lignin, etc. So this is not important one. Example, alkaloids are present in this plant like tobacco and coca. Then glycosides are present in, for example, in case of cabbage, like your senna, then your aloe vera, then your rhubarb, digitalis, etc. And sesquiterpene, they are present in the pyrethrum, parathenium, and diterpenes, that is present in the cotton, diterpenes. Cardiac glycoside is present in the your digitalis. Sterols are present in the different variety of phenolic acid are present in the all plants. Then coumarins are present in this carrot and worship. Lignas are present in the May apple. Flavonoids are almost present in the all plants. For example, rutin is there, Ruta graveolens. So then tannins are also present in the various kind of plants. For example, Arjuna bark is there. Then catechu, pale catechu, Gambier, acacia catechu is there. Lignins. All these are the examples of secondary metabolites. First, we'll see the alkaloids. What do you mean by alkaloids? So, as the name indicates, alkaloids, they are nothing but the secondary metabolites of the plant. They have different function in the plant. Okay. So, alkaloid means what? They are nothing but the secondary metabolites. So, they are alkali-like compound. Alkali-like means they will have basic nature. So, alkaloids are the alkali-like compounds. Alkali-like means what? Alkali means base, and they will have basic pH. So that's why the term alkaloid, that is alkali-like means they will have basic pH. Okay, so they are nothing but the basic heterocyclic nitrogenous compounds of the plant origin. They are the secondary metabolites of the plant, basic heterocyclic nitrogenous compound of plant origin, and they have they are physiologically active. They have and they will have at least one nitrogen in the structure. So if you want to define the alkaloids, alkaloids are nothing but the basic heterocyclic nitrogenous secondary metabolite in the plant, and they must have at least one nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. They are known as alkaloids. The alkaloid was the term alkaloid was derived from one term alkaloid was derived from one another name known as a plains alkane. So plains alkane, the term alkaloid plains alkane was coined by Messener. Messener was the German pharmacist in 1819 who coined the term alkaloids. इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. So just remember who coined the term alkaloid. Messener was the German pharmacist in 1819 coined the term alkaloid. He was designated alkaloid first as a plains alkene. ठीक है, उसने क्या किया कि alkaloid को क्या नाम दिया? Plains alkene. This plains alkene. Okay. So it was the first. The Messener was given first name known as a plains alkene, and then after that, so alkaloids was the name derived from this plains alkene. Plains alkene. Okay. Suppose that if they ask question on this like who coined the term alkaloid, so Messener, a German pharmacist in 1819 coined the term plains alkene or alkaloids. It is also known as a plains alkene. Now mankind has using these alkaloids for different purposes, like for medicine purpose, for curing the inflammation and all that, for poisoning purpose, not for human poisoning but for other poisoning, like poisoning of your rats, poisoning of rat poisoning of fishes. जैसे फिश को कैच करना है तो उसका पॉइजनिंग, उसके लिए पॉइजनस. सो मैनकाइंड हैज बीन यूजिंग alkaloids for various purposes like poisons, medicines, poultice, etc. etc. Again, French chemist known as a Derosin in 1803 first isolated alkaloid known as a narcotin. Narcotin was the first isolated alkaloid. सबसे पहले alkaloid कौन सा isolate किया था? That is narcotin. That was isolated by French chemist known as a Derosin. What are the different effects of alkaloids? So as we have seen, the alkaloids are the physiologically active. They have different action. They have different physiological action in our human body. So what are these actions? Alkaloids will have varying biological action on your body. So they will have high biological action. This is not just a property of them. They will produce varying degree of responses, varying degree of physiological and psychological responses. For example, some alkaloids they will interfere with your neurotransmitter. So for example, Raoul-Pia alkaloids. So reserpine is there. Example is reserpine. So this reserpine is known as a neuromuscular depleter. ये क्या करेगा? आपके जो भी न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर है उसको डिप्लीट कर देगा. मतलब जहाँ से न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर रिलीज होता है, जहाँ पे स्टोर होता है, सो पर्टिकुलरली नॉर एड्रेनलिन, डोपामाइन, so that neurotransmitters are synthesized and stored in the synaptic vesicles, and they are stored in the synaptic vesicles. They are synthesized in the synapse. So their depletion causes a sustained hypotension. So that's why this Raoul-Pia serpentina is used as antihypertensive. Raoul-Pia serpentina. Okay, उसमें alkaloid होता है आपका reserpine. These alkaloids may interfere with the membrane transport. The alkaloid may be interfere with membrane transport. They interfere with the protein synthesis. Okay. For example, in case of this colchicine, this is alkaloid obtained from Colchicum atominale plant, and it is an anti-inflammatory, and it is useful in the various kind of inflammation. For example, gout. So useful in particularly in the gout. Then large doses they are toxic in nature. For example, strychnine. In the large doses, they are highly toxic and fatal in nature. For example, strychnine obtained from Strychnos noxomega. So it is a poisonous alkaloid. Then in small doses, they may have therapeutic value. Small doses में क्या है उनका usefulness है, therapeutic usefulness. For example, atropine. So atropine has a usefulness in the various kind of poisoning, and there is dominance of cholinergic system. So you use atropine in case of various poisoning also. So atropine in small doses they have therapeutic value. For example, atropine. They will act as a skeletal muscle relaxant, particularly curare alkaloids, D-tuberculin जो है आपका curare में से D-tuberculin, that is a muscle relaxant. Then tranquilizer means various depressant alkaloids, like alkaloid from your aconitum nepalus. Aconite से जो alkaloid आता है वो, that is tranquilizer. Then serpentina, Raoul-Pia serpentina. So it is also known as a पगले की दवा. So because it is a tranquilizer, Raoul-Pia alkaloid, reserpine and all that. Then painkiller, then mind altering drug. For example, caffeine. Caffeine is a CNS stimulant, and some drug are also having some alkaloids also having the anti-cancer activity like podophyroxine and all that. So they are useful in the chemotherapy also. For example, psychoactive alkaloids. Psychoactive alkaloids means those alkaloids which will have a effect on your brain, effect on your CNS. Small 1% of but get more focus. They are only small alkaloids. Those are known as psychoactive. There are only small percentage of alkaloids which are active on your brain. They affect the central nervous system often by influencing the neurotransmitter. ठीक है, जो neurotransmitter है उसका अगर synthesis, storage या डिप्लीशन कर देंगे. What are the different alkaloids that act on a brain? So they may be either seen as stimulant. For example, caffeine, cocaine, ephedrine. So these are the seen as stimulant. Then hallucinogens means they are more stimulant to CNS. They will produce hallucinations. So for example, propane alkaloids and LSD. LSD means lysergic acid derivative. So these ergot alkaloids, they are known as hallucinogens. They are the derivative of lysergic acid. LSD means lysergic acid derivative. Alkaloids may be seen as depressant. For example, in case of your morphine, codeine, and heroin. Heroin is a totally synthetic. Heroin is totally synthetic. Morphine, codeine are natural. Then maybe they may be as a narcotic. Narcotic means they have a proper habit forming capability. मीन्स अगर आपने मॉर्फिन का एक दो डोज ले लिया तो आपको उसकी आदत हो जाती है और देन यू बिकम डिपेंडेंट ऑन दैट ड्रग so they may produce a drug dependence. So some alkaloids, particularly psychoactive alkaloids, they are prone to produce addictive defect, or they are prone to produce a habituation. They are prone to produce a drug dependence. Okay, all these terms are the similar: drug dependence, habituation, addiction. There is little bit difference. I will tell the difference to you in the pharmacology. Alkaloids are biosynthesized in the plants as a secondary metabolite from the amino acids. So most of the alkaloids they are biosynthesized, okay, from common amino acids. जो amino acids होते हैं उससे ही उनका biosynthesis होता है. So there might I will take one lecture on biosynthetic pathway because sometimes they used to ask question on this. Common amino acid like tyrosine, tryptophan, ornithine, aspartic acid, lysine. These are the bio precursor for the for the alkaloids. कि alkaloids in alkaloid के लिए precursor कौन है? Amino acid. कौन से? Tyrosine, tryptophan, ornithine, arginine, lysine. So from these alkaloids, from these amino acid, alkaloids are synthesized. Okay. For example, nicotinic acid is a precursor for nicotine alkaloid from tobacco. Purine bases are the precursor for purine type of alkaloid. For example, caffeine, theophylline, theobromine. तो कैफीन थियोफाइलिन थियोब्रोमिन है आपका उसके लिए ये जो प्यूरिन बेस होते हैं जैसे एडेनिन ग्वानिन तो दे आर रिस्पांसिबल फॉर द बायोसिंथेसिस ऑफ caffeine type of alkaloid, purine type of alkaloid, caffeine, theophylline, theobromine. Then terpenes means terpenoids. Okay, so they are also secondary metabolite of plant along with the mevalonic acid pathway. Some terpenes are also biosynthesized from some alkaloids also biosynthesized from terpenes. कुछ alkaloids में terpenes भी होते हैं, so they comes from mevalonic acid pathway. So when we will see the different biogenetic pathway, at the time I will explain you what is different pathways. Shikimic acid pathway, this terpene mevalonic acid pathway. Generally, they are classified on the basis of different structure, on the basis of carbon skeleton or on the basis of ring. कि उस अल्कलॉइड में कौन से रिंग है उसके बेसिस पे उसका क्लासिफिकेशन करते हैं. जनरली दे आर क्लासिफाइड डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द टाइप ऑफ रिंग present or depending upon the carbon skeleton. Biosynthesis of alkaloid. This is very important again. Pyrrolidine type of alkaloid like narcotine, then tropane alkaloids like atropine, hyoscyamin, and these tropane alkaloids and pyrrolidine alkaloids. Remember, this slide is important for your GPAT. So they are biosynthesized from ornithine amino acid. Okay, pyrrolidine alkaloid like nicotine, then tropane alkaloids like atropine, hyoscyamin, cocaine. These are the biosynthesized from ornithine amino acid. Then piperidine type of alkaloids or pyridine type of alkaloids, for example, conine, lobelin, arecolin. Then quinazolidine type of alkaloids also, for example, lupinin. All these are the biosynthesized from one amino acid known as the lysine. Tyrosine. Okay, so isoquinoline type of alkaloid, for example, morphine, codeine, imetine, cephalin, berberine, and D2-berberine. Then some amino alkaloid like colchicine. So all these are the biosynthesized from tyrosine amino acid. Then next, like indole alkaloids. Whatever indole alkaloids are present in the your vinca plant, your ergot plant. So ergot alkaloids, vincristine, vinblastine, reserpine, cysteine, phytostigmine, brucine, they are synthesized from tryptophan amino acid. And even quinoline type of alkaloid also. Quinoline type like cinchonine, quinine, quinidine, camphorhexane. All these are the alkaloid biosynthesized from tryptophan amino acid. Now history. Imidazole type of alkaloid. Imidazole type of alkaloid present in the pilocarpus. Pilocarpus plant में होता है pilocarpine. That pilocarpine is biosynthesized from histidine amino acid. Then amino alkaloids like ephedrine, they are synthesized from phenylalanine type of phenylalanine type of amino acid. Okay, so just remember यहाँ पे एक बाद में भी एक चार्ट आएगा. For example ये देखो ipetrin is biosynthesized from phenylalanine, then pilocarpine from histidine. Okay, then quinoline type of alkaloids. All the alkaloids present in the cinchona. Okay, then alkaloids present in the ergot, alkaloids present in the vinca plant. Okay, they are synthesized from tryptophan amino acid. Remember, ये जो इंडोल टाइप ऑफ alkaloids होते हैं, इंडोल मतलब उसमें इंडोल रिंग होगा, ठीक है. सो ऑल दीज आर synthesized from tryptophan amino acid. देन टायरोसिन से क्या मिलता है आपको? फॉर एग्जांपल आइसोक्विनोलिन टाइप ऑफ अल्कोलाइड, जो मॉर्फिन जैसे ओपियम अल्कोलाइड्स आर देयर. सो ऑल द ओपियम अल्कोलाइड्स, मॉर्फिन, कोडीन, थिबिन, then some other alkaloids like imetin, sapalin, berberin, then curare alkaloids, then amino alkaloid like colchicine. All these are synthesized from tyrosine amino acid. Then so piperidine type of alkaloids and piperidine and pyridine type of alkaloids, they are biosynthesized from your lysine amino acid. Then जो tropane alkaloids होते हैं, tropane alkaloids present the atropa belladonna, then dathurastomium, atropine, hyoscyamin, this cocaine. All these are the alkaloids obtained from biosynthesis from ornithine amino acid. So ornithine is a bioprecursor for the synthesis of your these type of alkaloids like pyridine type of alkaloids and tropane alkaloids. So इसके ऊपर already question आ चुका है. So tropane alkaloids are biosynthesized from ornithine amino acid. तो और indole alkaloids are biosynthesized from tryptophan amino acid. याद रखो. Histidine, then imidazole alkaloid are biosynthesized from histidine amino acid. Okay, amino alkaloid like ipetrin from phenylalkane, amino alkaloid like colchicine from tyrosine. इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ चुके हैं ऑलरेडी जीपैट में, नाइपर में. तो दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट. इसके ऊपर और एक चार्ट है मेरे बुक में. नॉर्मली व्हाट हैपेंस, प्लांट यूटिलाइजेस द कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड वाटर. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड वाटर जो होता है वो प्लांट यूटिलाइज करते हैं इसके लिए फॉर द सिंथेसिस ऑफ शुगर. सो योर दिस प्लांट they utilize the carbon dioxide and water and they synthesize the sugar by using photosynthesis. Okay, by using photosynthesis. Okay, once these sugars are formed in the plant, they are utilized for energy and respiration. Okay, they are utilized for energy and respiration, and they are also utilized for production of various secondary metabolites. Okay, for example, so these sugars are directly utilized for the biosynthesis of glycosides. तो ग्लाइकोसाइड्स होते हैं उसके लिए भी ये शुगर्स बायोसिंथेसिस के लिए एज इट इज यूटिलाइज किए जाते हैं. जैसे साइड चेन मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल अगर एंथ्राक्विनोन ग्लाइकोसाइड है तो एंथ्राक्विनोन रिंग सेपरेटली that anthraquinone ring will be separately biosynthesized and then sugar and anthraquinone ring will be attached by glycoside bond. So sugars are utilized for different kind of glycosides, okay, for production of secondary metabolites. Then again, for example, again sugars are also utilized for the these synergetic type of glycoside and all type of glycoside. Then after respiration, sugar is utilized for energy purpose and then after metabolism of sugar, मेटाबॉलिज्म होने के बाद शुगर का क्या बनता है आपको मालूम है. सो ग्लाइकोलाइसिस इज देयर, यू विल गेट एसिटिल कोए. सो व्हाटएवर मेटाबॉलिज्म ऑफ शुगर टेक्स प्लेस इन द प्लांट एज वेल एज animals. So after the metabolism of sugar glycolysis, you are getting acetyl CoA molecule. From the acetyl CoA molecule, that molecule is utilized for synthesis of steroids and lipids. ये acetyl CoA से lipids बनेगा, steroids बनेंगे, terpenoids बनेंगे. ठीक है, तो terpenoids and steroids are biosynthesized from this acetyl CoA by using various pathways. This from acetyl CoA utilize undergoing the malonic acid pathway, you will get fatty acid and waxes. ये भी सिंथेसाइज होता है. देन इंटरमीडिएट जो है कंपाउंड्स उससे फ्लेवोनॉइड्स बनते हैं, टैनिन्स बनते हैं, टैनिन्स एंड फ्लेवोनॉइड्स. सेम by using sugar the plant synthesizes the amino acids by utilizing the intermediate product of the sugar metabolism. They utilize those for amino acid biosynthesis. And once amino acid are biosynthesized, from that proteins are synthesized. Okay, amino acid से क्या बनता है, प्रोटीन बनता है. प्रोटीन बनेगा और अमीनो एसिड से फिनोलिक कंपाउंड भी बनते हैं. सो फिनोलिक कंपाउंड्स दे आर बायोसिंथेसाइज्ड फ्रॉम अमीनो एसिड्स. These amino acids are biosynthesized for chemical acid pathway. Remember, sugars and from sugar and its metabolically intermediate, the amino acids are biosynthesized in the plant using chemical acid pathway. So I will explain that chemical acid pathway. Amino acids, alkaloids are biosynthesized. Amino acid, phenol, and then lignins are synthesized. So that's how plant will utilize a carbon dioxide and water with the help of your sunlight, they will cause photosynthesis, and then once sugars are biosynthesized, they convert sugar into different secondary metabolites. Now classification of alkaloid, this is again very important. इसके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन आता है आपके जीपीएट में. क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ alkaloids, again this is very important. So alkaloids are classified depending upon the different, there are different ways to classify alkaloids, okay, depending upon the nature, depending upon the chemical structure, okay, depending upon the therapeutic uses. So there are different way, but this one is important, chemical classification. So occurrence के बारे में, now class alkaloids are classified according to their occurrence. First one is the true alkaloids. True alkaloids, they are also known as typical alkaloids. True alkaloids, they are also known as typical alkaloids. True alkaloids are biosynthesized from amino acid and they will have nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. True alkaloid क्या होता है? True alkaloid, they are biosynthesized from amino acids and they will have nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. For example, atropine. For example, atropine. Then pseudoalkaloids or then protoalkaloids. Second one is the protoalkaloid. They are known as alkaloid amines. Protoalkaloids, they are known as alkaloid amines. They are also biosynthesized from amino acid, but what happens in this case, in the protoalkaloid, amino acid is sorry, nitrogen is not present in the ring. Nitrogen जो है वो ring में नहीं रहेगा. So in case of protoalkaloid, nitrogen is not present in the ring, though they are biosynthesized from amino acid. For example, epidrin. So remember, two alkaloid क्या होता है आपका? एट्रोपिन, जिसमें आप बायोसिंथेसिस होता है अमीनो एसिड से और नाइट्रोजन रिंग में होता है. प्रोटो में क्या होता है? प्रोटो अल्कोलाइड्स, दे आर आल्सो बायोसिंथेसिस फ्रॉम अमीनो एसिड, बट द नाइट्रोजन इज नॉट प्रेजेंट इन द रिंग. फॉर एग्जांपल, इपेड्रिन. इपेड्रिन इज अ प्रोटो अल्कोलाइड. इसके एग्जांपल याद रखो, इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आता है. नेक्स्ट वन इज नोन एज सूडो अल्कोलाइड्स. नेक्स्ट वन इज सूडो अल्कोलाइड्स. सूडो अल्कोलाइड्स, they are not biosynthesized from amino acid. So they are not biosynthesized from amino acid, but they have nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. ठीक है. सूडो अल्कोलाइड्स में क्या होता है? नाइट्रोजन रिंग में होता है, लेकिन वो दिस टाइप ऑफ अल्कोलाइड्स आर नॉट बायोसिंथेसाइज्ड फ्रॉम अमीनो एसिड. फॉर एग्जांपल, कैफीन. कैफीन इज अ सूडो अल्कोलाइड. So caffeine is a pseudo alkaloid, and you know that caffeine is nothing but the, it is nothing but the xanthine derivative. It is nothing but the xanthine derivative. Caffeine क्या है? Xanthine derivative, and these are biosynthesized from nucleotides. Nucleotide जो होता है आपका purine, pyrimidine, guanine. So all these nucleotides, they are utilized for the synthesis of pseudo type of alkaloid. For example, caffeine, then theophylline, theobromine, etc., etc. Remember the name, synonym and example of alkaloid. उसमें क्या क्या होता है, ये इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आता ही आता है. Next one is a false alkaloid. Next one is a false alkaloid. So they are not a true alkaloid, but they gives the identification test of alkaloid positive. ठीक है. ये alkaloids जो होते हैं false alkaloid, ये alkaloid ये alkaloid होते ही नहीं है. They are not alkaloid, but they will give a positive test for alkaloids. Alkaloids के identification के लिए जो टेस्ट होते हैं, they will give you a positive test, false positive test. Okay, they gives false positive reaction with the alkaloid reagent. Okay, so you have to remember this. For example, you can see here, this is the example of atropine. ये जो है atropine है, you can see this nitrogen is present, is a part of heterocyclic ring. Okay, ये tropine ring होता है, that is known as tropine ring. Tropine ring में क्या है? Nitrogen. So it is a true alkaloid. It is biosynthesized of ornithine amino acid. That is structure of atropine. Now next you can see here the structure of your epidrin. It is structure of your epidrin. Here nitrogen is present. Okay, it is present, but it is not a part of heterocyclic ring. यहाँ पे नाइट्रोजन है लेकिन heterocyclic ring में नहीं. They are known as a proto-alkaloids. Okay, so or they are also known as amino alkaloids. This is the structure of your epidrin. Then you can see here it is the structure of your caffeine. This is the structure of your caffeine. So this is known as a pseudo-alkaloids. This is known as a pseudo-alkaloids. So here they are not biosynthesized from amino acid, but they have nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. You can see यहाँ पे देखो nitrogen heterocyclic ring में है, लेकिन these are the alkaloid not biosynthesized from amino acid. They are not biosynthesized from amino acid, but still they have nitrogen in the ring. They are known as a pseudo type of alkaloid. They are biosynthesized from your purine and pyrimidine basis. समझ रहा है आपको? Are you getting? This is very important. ये सब टाइप याद रखो. टाइप ऑफ अल्कोलाइड, ट्रू अल्कोलाइड, प्रोटो अल्कोलाइड, सूडो अल्कोलाइड एंड फॉल्स अल्कोलाइड. क्या होता है कि एग्जाम में आप आपके सामने क्वेश्चन आएगा ना, तो बोलेंगे identify the type of alkaloid caffeine is, या फिर caffeine belongs to one of the following class of alkaloid, ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे, या फिर क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे मैच द फॉलोइंग एग्जांपल ऑफ अल्कलॉइड विद देयर क्लास, ओके, ऐसा पूछेंगे. सो आपको देंगे एट्रोपिन कोड, एट्रोपिन, इपेड्रिन, कैफीन, और दूसरा कोई फॉल्स अल्कलॉइड का एग्जांपल देंगे. तो हाँ, एंड सामने वाले एक दूसरे कॉलम में देंगे आपको अल्कलॉइड, प्रोटो, सुडो. So you have to find correct match, and sometimes they will to ask question like this: one of the following is a characteristic of true alkaloids, or one of the following is a characteristic of pseudo alkaloids. में ऐसे होंगे ऑप्शन, ऐसे होंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, they are derived from amino acid and will have nitrogen in the structure. They are not derived from amino acid, still they have nitrogen in the structure. They are derived from amino acid but they will not have nitrogen in the structure. So ऐसे कुछ ऑप्शन देंगे आपको कंफ्यूज करने के लिए. So again मैं यहाँ पे रिपीट करता हूँ आपको. Two alkaloids, or they are also known as the typical alkaloids. They are biosynthesized from amino acids and they consist of nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. That is, for example, atropine and morphine and all that. Morphine, atropine, lot of alkaloids are there. I have not summarized the. And second class is the proto-alkaloids. So they are known as the alkaloidal amines. Alkaloidal amines. Okay, they are also biosynthesized from amino acids, but they will not have nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring, or nitrogen is not a part of heterocyclic ring. For example, epitene. Epitene is a proto-alkaloid or amino alkaloid or alkaloidal amine. It is also known as amino alkaloid or alkaloidal amine or proto-alkaloid. Okay. Then third one is a pseudo-alkaloids. They are not biosynthesized from amino acid, but still they have nitrogen in the heterocyclic ring. For example, caffeine. Caffeine is a xanthine derivative. It is obtained from, it is biosynthesized from different kind of purine bases. Purine base जो था उससे biosynthesized. For example, structure देख लो उसका यहाँ पे. Now false alkaloids means these are the, they are not examples of alkaloids. They are other drug. They are not alkaloids, but they give positive test for identification of alkaloids. So that's why they are known as a false alkaloid. They give false positive test for alkaloid. Next one is different forms of alkaloid. Different forms of alkaloid. Alkaloids may occur in the form of free bases. Alkaloid may occur in the form of free bases. Most of the time they occurs in the free bases, or they may occur in the form of salts of organic acid. So alkaloids may be present in the form of free base. Say atropine is a free base. Atropine sulfate is a salt. Okay. So atropine, sorry, alkaloids may be present in the form of free bases, or they may be present in the form of salt of organic acid. For example, oxalic acid, acetic acid. Alkaloids may be present in the form of salt of organic acid, like oxalic acid and acetic acid. Okay, or they may be present in the form of salt of inorganic acid. Let's say, for example, salt of HCl and H2SO4, morphine sulfate, morphine hydrochloride. So they may be present in the form of salt of inorganic acid. Okay, they may be present in the free form. They may be present in the salt of organic acid. They may be present in the form of salt of inorganic acid, or they may be present in the form of salt of special acids. So they may be present, or they may occur in the form of salt of special acid. For example, macoic acid and quinic acid. Okay, may occur in the form of special acid. For example, morphine alkaloids जो होते हैं, opium alkaloids. So whatever opium alkaloids are there, they occurs in the opium in the form and in the as a salt of macoic acid. They are found in the opium as a salt of macoic acid. Okay, remember this line important. In quinine alkaloids जो है, that is also found in the form of salt of quinic acid. So those are found in the synchron. Then again, whatever alkaloids are present in the ergot, यहाँ पे लिखा नहीं मैं बोल रहा हूँ, whatever alkaloids are present in the ergot plant, they are found in the form of salt of lysergic acid. They are known as a lysergic acid derivative. And opium alkaloids, they are found in the form of salt of macoic acid, or they are the derivative of macoic acid, or they may occur in the form of glycosides also. For example, solanine and solanine in solanum. Alkaloids may be in the glycoside form. So they are known as a glycoalkaloids. They are known as a glycoalkaloids. ये जो है, जो glycoside के फॉर्म में आता है, इनको बोलते हैं glycoalkaloids. Okay, this is again important part, particularly that special acids. So which alkaloids are present in the form of special acids? So sometimes they used to ask question in the Niper. So opium alkaloids are present in the opium plum in the form of one of the following. in the form of salt of macoic acid. Okay, your alkaloids are present in the form of lysergic acid derivative. Quinic acid का आता है आपका quinine alkaloids जो भी सिंकोना में तो remember याद रखो यहाँ पे. Next we'll see functions and occurrence of alkaloid in the plant. ये क्या function है इसका फालतू में तो नहीं बनाते ना plant. So they have sorry different function in the plant. So they have different function in the plant. See over here. So they have protective function. They are protective in nature. So they protect the plant against the insect and herbivorous insect and animals due to their bitterness and poisonous nature. प्लांट में अगर लीफ में कोई अल्कलॉइड है, धतूरा प्लांट है, धतूरा में क्या होता है, एट्रोपिन होता है, तो धतूरा प्लांट को कोई भी बकरी नहीं खाएगी या फिर कोई इंसेक्ट उसके ऊपर आके अटैक नहीं करेगा, उसका पेस्ट नहीं. दे प्रोटेक्ट द प्लांट फ्रॉम इंसेक्ट एंड herbivores. Okay, they are the final product for detoxification. They are the final product, waste product. Okay, so alkaloids are the waste product. Then they will serve as a source of energy. In case of efficiency of carbon dioxide, will source as a source of energy. They will serve as a source of energy. And these alkaloids are the also serve as a source of nitrogen in case of nitrogen deficiency. Because alkaloids they have nitrogen in their structure, they are a biosynthesis from amino acids. So they will serve as a source of nitrogen. Again, they will also act as a growth regulators in the plant. Are the different function of your glycosides. Now distribution of these glycosides in the plant. ये ग्लाइकोसाइड कहाँ कहाँ पे मिलेंगे आपको, किस प्लांट के कौन से हिस्से में मिलेंगे. Distribution of alkaloids. So alkaloids may be distributed in the different organs of plant. Okay, for example, they are found in the all parts of plant. So you can find these alkaloids in every part like leaf, fruit, stems, then roots, etc. etc. For example, datura. So if you find alkaloids over in the datura plant. datura plant अगर आपने ले लिया तो उसके हर एक प्लांट के हिस्से में alkaloid मिलेंगे आपको. They may be either concentrated in the bark. For example, cinchona. Cinchona alkaloids they are present in the bark. Then they may be present in the seeds. For example, nux vomica, cysteine and brucin. That those are present in the seeds only. Then they may present in the roots. For example, aconite. Aconite का alkaloid जो होता है वो roots में होता है. Then black pepper. They may be present in the fruit again. For example, black pepper. Then alkaloids may be present in the leaves. For example, tobacco. Tobacco are present in the leaves. Then alkaloids may be present in the form of in the latex. For example, opium. So that is nothing but the distribution of alkaloids in the plant. Occurrence and distribution. इतना important नहीं है ये participate के लिए, लेकिन sometimes they can ask the question on this functions of alkaloid कि plant में इसके function क्या है. So particularly remember they are the source of nitrogen. Remember they are the source of nitrogen. They are the growth regulator. They are the product of detoxification. They have protective function. Next one is a nomenclature of alkaloids. Next one is a trivial name. Name में क्या? So name ending with ine. कि trivial name में मतलब कौन सा भी alkaloid हो उसका ine लगा दो suffix. So that is a trivial name. This may refers to the genus of the plant such as atropine. For example, Atropa belladonna. Atropa is a genus, belladonna is a species. So from that atropine is obtained. That's why atro is nothing but the name of genus and pine is nothing but the trivial name. So atropine. They may be they may be named on the name of species. For example, cocaine. Cocaine is named the species of coca. It is obtained from Erythroxylon coca. Erythroxylon is the genus and coca is the species. So sometimes alkaloids are named on the basis of their genus or species. Common name. The common name of drug, for example, ergotamine. So ergot alkaloids are obtained from ergot plant. So ergot का plant का नाम उसको दे दिया, amine लगा दिया, so ergotamine. Or they may be named on the basis of their discovery. जिसने भी उसको discover किया उसके नाम पे के ऊपर ही उसका नाम रख देंगे. For example, Pelletrine alkaloid was discovered by Pelletier. Pelletier was a scientist who discovered the Pelletrine alkaloid. So they have given the name Pelletrine. Be given name on the basis of their physiological action. For example, emetine. So emetine is the alkaloid that will act as emetic in nature. They will cause vomiting. They will induce the vomiting. That's why on the basis of physiological action, emetine is given the name. Morphine acts as a narcotic. So sometimes this morphine alkaloids they are another narcotic. Prominent physical character. फिजिकल नेचर कैसा है उसके बेसिस के ऊपर भी उसको नाम दिया जाता है. फॉर एग्जांपल हाइग्रो हाइग्रीन हाइग्रीन इज अ नेम ऑफ अल्कोलाइड. हाइग्रीन इज अ नेम ऑफ अल्कोलाइड named because the compound is very hygroscopic. So there are different way to give the names for alkaloids. Now next one is prefixes and suffixes. Prefix nor is given. Nor is given when there is a demethylation or demethoxylation. Example, you might have seen nor pseudoephedrine. Nicotine nor pseudoephedrine. नॉर सुडोइपेड्रिन नॉर निकोटीन मतलब क्या. नॉर का मतलब है आपका यहाँ पे डीमिथाइलेशन और डीमिथॉक्सिलेशन. जो ओरिजिनल इपेड्रिन है उसमें अगर एन मिथाइलेशन निकल दिया मिथाइल ग्रुप निकल दिया तो उसको बोलेंगे नॉर सुडोइपेड्रिन. अगर उसमें अगर में मिथाइल ग्रुप निकल दिया या फिर डीमिथॉक्सिलेशन किया उसको बोलेंगे नॉर निकोटीन. एपो इज द फिक्स फॉर हाइड्रेशन. Okay, so if you water molecule from morphine, so that is named as apomorphine. Apo means dehydration, loss of water. Nor means removal of N-methyl group or N-methoxylation, demethoxylation. CH3 group remove करेंगे नाइट्रोजन का या फिर मिथाइल ग्रुप from nitrogen is removed or methoxy group from nitrogen is removed, then it is known as a NOR. For example, NOR pseudoephedrine, NOR narcotin. Apo means dehydration. Okay, so if you cause dehydration of morphine, you will get apomorphine. Morphine is an alkaloid again. So pseudo, neo, and EP. Iso, pseudo, neo, and EP are nothing but the isomers. Quinoline, isoquinoline. Ephedrine, pseudoephedrine. Pyridine, neoephedrine. Sorry. Suffix alkaloids होते हैं उसका एक suffix दिया जाता है. Example DINE. ININE. Alkaloids have suffix like DINE. Idrine, EPG, DRINE. Designate the isomerism in quinine and cinchonine. For example, quinine का isomer होता है quinidine. Okay? So DIN means it is isomer of compound. Quinine is isomer of quinidine. Cinchonine का isomer होगा cinchonidine. So quinine का isomer है quinidine. Cinchonine का isomer है cinchonidine. Then ININE indicate the in case of ergot alkaloids a lower pharmacological activity. Example, original alkaloid is ergotamine. Ergotamine is biologically active. So ergotamine is less potent than ergotamine. So these are the nomenclature of alkaloids, how they are nomenclature. This chart is very important for your exam. Chart is very important for your exam. So it is nothing but the chemical test for alkaloids. Chemical test for alkaloids or identification test of alkaloids. ठीक है. So this chart is very important. इसके ऊपर बहुत बार क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. ये चार्ट आपको बाय हार्ट होना ही चाहिए. Okay. Now first one is a first test is known as a Mayer's. Mayer's reagent क्या होता है आपका? Potassium mercuric iodide solution. Reagent is the potassium mercuric iodide solution. When a alkaloid is treated with alkaloid or powder of alkaloid is treated with the Mayer's reagent, you will get a white or pale yellow or cream colored precipitate. So alkaloids will give you this taste positive, white or pale yellow, cream colored precipitate will be there. All alkaloids will give you this taste positive except purine group of alkaloids. Purine group of alkaloids जैसे caffeine, theophylline, theobromine नहीं होता है आपकी caffeine में होता है. So those will not give you this taste positive. This is known as the Mayer's reagent. That is nothing but the potassium mercuric iodide. GPAT में बहुत बार ये आ चुका है Mayer's reagent. Potassium mercuric iodide is known as Mayer's reagent. ठीक है, बहुत बार आ चुका है. Last year में ये drag and drop क्वेश्चन है. Test is the drag and drop reagent. Potassium bismuth iodide. ठीक है, potassium bismuth iodide. Potassium bismuth iodide is a drag and drop reagent. So GPAT 20 में है. पेपर के लिए तो हमेशा आते हैं ये क्वेश्चंस. When a alkaloid or alkaloid powder is treated with the drag and drop reagent, you will get a colored precipitate. Means it's positive. Wagner reagent, iodine solution. Wagner reagent is nothing but the iodine solution. होगा सिर्फ iodine का solution होगा. The brown or reddish brown precipitate with the alkaloids. Next test is known as the tannic acid test. Here you use 5% tannic acid. 5% tannic acid यहाँ पे use करते हैं. So again you will get a tannic acid will precipitate your alkaloid present in the sample. Okay. Now that precipitate is soluble in the dilute acids. Or acid में ये solution जो है precipitate is soluble है. Now next test is a Hager's reagent. Agar's reagent is nothing but the saturated solution of picric acid. So picric acid is yellow in the color and it will give you yellow precipitate with the alkaloids. Yeah. Next test is the ammonia renegade test. Next one is the ammonia renegade test. So here a saturated solution of ammonia renegade. Okay. So you will get a pink fluorescence precipitate with the most of the alkaloids. यहाँ पे याद रखो आप ये टेस्ट बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है एक बार फिर से रिवाइज कर दूंगा so Mayer's reagent means what potassium mercuric iodide M for mercury you can correlate this M for mercury okay? Mercury Mayer's means potassium mercury dragon drop means potassium bismuth dragon drop means potassium bismuth okay so Mayer's reagent potassium mercury iodide solution कौन सा मिलता है आपको ये भी याद रखना है कलर समटाइम्स दे यूज्ड टू आस्क color or pale yellow color white or pale yellow or cream color and remember over here all kind of alkaloids give this Mayer's test positive except purine purine group of alkaloid except purine group of alkaloid and for purine group of alkaloids for purine group of alkaloids you have muroxide test is a drag and drop reagent potassium bismuth iodine solution potassium bismuth iodine solution okay sorry orange colored precipitate Wagner's reagent means iodine solution you will get a brown or reddish brown precipitate tannic acid 5% tannic acid is used which can precipitate the alkaloid the precipitate is soluble in the precipitate is soluble in dilute acids or ammonia that's why this tannic acid is also used in the universal antidote means that tannic acid का parts होता है 3 parts of tannic acid 2 parts of activated charcoal and 1 part of calcium oxide calcium carbonate composition of your universal antidote we have seen in the general pharmacology why tannic acid is used there because tannic acid has a tannic acid react with the alkaloid and precipitate them once alkaloid is precipitated in your stomach so the alkaloid is not in a free form to get absorbed in the systemic circulation that's why alkaloid will not show its poisonous effect. So that's why this tannic acid is used in the universal antidote. याद रखो यहाँ पे. Next one is Hager's reagent. That is nothing but the saturated solution of picric acid. You will get yellow precipitate. Okay. Alcohol is ammonia renegade test. So here saturated solution of ammonia pink fluorescent precipitate with the most of the alkaloids. So this chart is very important for all kind of exam, not only for GPAT. के लिए बोलो आप नाइपर के लिए बोलो ड्रग इंस्पेक्टर गवर्नमेंट फार्मासिस्ट सबके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है ये इज अगेन फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ अल्कलॉइड दिस इज अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इसके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन आ चुका है फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ अल्कलॉइड्स ओके द कंडीशन सो कौन से कंडीशन में रहेंगे अल्कलॉइड्स सो क्रिस्टलाइन रहेंगे या अमोर्फस रहेंगे क्या रहेंगे इज कंडीशन सो मोस्ट ऑफ द अल्कलॉइड्स आर क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड मोस्ट ऑफ द अल्कलॉइड्स क्या होते हैं क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड बट फ्यू और अमोर्फस इन नेचर अमोर्फस तो मोस्ट का है मोस्ट ऑफ द अल्कलॉइड्स आर क्रिस्टलाइन तो उसके बारे में नहीं पूछेंगे वो सारे वो किसके बारे में पूछेंगे आपको इमेटिन के बारे में सो इमेटिन इज अमोर्फस सॉलिड को नहीं इमेटिन मोस्ट ऑफ द सम अल्कलॉइड्स आर लिक्विड इन मोस्ट ऑफ द अल्कलॉइड्स सॉलिड होते हैं लेकिन लिक्विड नहीं होते कम होते तो वो सॉलिड के बारे में नहीं पूछेंगे आपको वो लिक्विड के बारे में पूछेंगे which alkaloid is a liquid in nature which alkaloid is a volatile liquid okay so question from GPAT 21 nicotine this is a alkaloid which is a volatile liquid nicotine alkaloid is a alkaloid which is present as a volatile liquid in the conine nicotine is a volatile liquid याद रखो इसके ऊपर GPAT 21 में क्वेश्चन 21 में क्वेश्चन आ चुका है GPAT में liquid okay that is a nicotine non-volatile liquid फॉर्म में कौन से that is pilocarpine and hyoscine and pilocarpine are non-volatile liquid alkaloids remember the volatile liquid alkaloid nicotine non-volatile pilocarpine and then the color most of the color क्या है most of the alkaloids are colorless in nature उसके बारे में नहीं पूछेंगे वो क्या पूछेंगे which alkaloid is a colored in nature is there colchicine and berberine yellow in the color okay colchicine from colchicum atomnali and berberine yellow in color then canadine is orange in color this salt of sun-guanidine is a copper red in color तो इसके बारे में पूछ लेंगे आप तो इसके बारे में पूछा है ऑलरेडी कलर्ड colchicine and berberine they are a yellow color in nature सो मोस्ट ऑफ द अल्कोलाइड्स आर सॉलिड, क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड, तो उसके बारे में नहीं पूछेंगे, बोलेंगे कौन सा अल्कोलाइड अमोर्फस सॉलिड, दैट इज नथिंग बट द इमेटिन, ये मोस्ट ऑफ द अल्कोलाइड आर सॉलिड इन नेचर, सो सॉलिड के बारे में नहीं पूछेंगे, व्हिच अल्कोलाइड इज अ लिक्विड इन नेचर, सो वोलेटाइल लिक्विड कौन है, निकोटीन एंड कोनिन, देन नॉन वोलेटाइल लिक्विड कौन है, पिलोकार्पिन एंड हायोसिन, ठीक है, याद रखो इसके बारे में क्वेश्चन आता है। तो मोस्ट ऑफ द अल्कोलाइड्स आर कलरलेस इन नेचर, कलरलेस होते हैं सब बहुत सारे, तो उसके बारे में कभी नहीं पूछेंगे, ये बोल कलर्ड अल्कोलाइड का नाम बोल, दैट इज नथिंग बट द कोचिसिन एंड बर्बेरिन, ओके, ये भी याद रखो, is orange in nature, orange colored, and sort of sun garnering is a copper red, okay, so this is again very important slide for बोलो बाकी के एग्जाम में solubility, what is the solubility, most both alkaloidal base, free alkaloidal base, they are and their salt, they are soluble in the alcohol, देखो अल्कोहल में फ्री अल्कोलाइड बेसिस भी सोल्यूबल है एंड सॉल्ट भी सोल्यूबल है, so alkaloids, they are free bases and their salts, they are soluble in alcohol, generally the bases, they are more soluble in the organic solvent and soluble in the water, normally क्या होता है कि अल्कोलाइड का फ्री बेस जो होता है that is soluble in the organic solvent like chloroform, then ether, then like ether, benzene, etc., but they are insoluble in the water, okay, there are certain exceptions, so most of the alkaloids soluble in free alkaloids are soluble in the organic solvent, इसके बारे में नहीं पूछेंगे, आपको क्या पूछेंगे, इसके बारे में पूछेंगे exception, certain free bases of alkaloids, they are present in the soluble in the water, for example caffeine, ephedrine, codeine, colchicine, pilocarpine and quaternary ammonium bases, they are soluble in the water because of their nature, polarity, because of their polarity, okay? जो होता है that is insoluble in the certain examples, there are certain exceptions, free bases which are insoluble in the organic solvent, for example morphine, then theobromine, theophylline, okay, so morphine is insoluble in the ether, theobromine bromine, theophylline is insoluble in the benzene, ये क्या होना चाहिए कि बेसिस ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट में सोल्यूबल होना चाहिए, लेकिन उसके लिए दो एक्सेप्शन है, मॉर्फिन इज इनसॉल्युबल इन ईथर, ब्रोमीन एंड थियोपाइलिन इज इनसॉल्युबल इन बेंजीन, ओके, और जो अल्कोलाइड से वाटर सॉल्युबल कौन से, कैफीन, कोडीन, कोलिसिन एंड पिलोकार्पिन, क्वाटरनरी अमोनियम, सॉल्ट्स आर सॉल्युबल इन द वाटर, ठीक है, फ्री बेसिस जो होते हैं वो मोस्टली ऑर्गेनिक सॉल्वेंट में सॉल्युबल होते हैं, उसके लिए एक्सेप्शंस ये है, एंड होते दे आर मोस्टली सॉल्युबल इन द वाटर, ये भी एक्सेप्शंस है, उनके लिए एक्सेप्शंस, most of the alkaloid salts, so salts of alkaloid, they are water soluble and insoluble or sparingly soluble in the organic solvent, but there are certain exceptions, so salts insoluble in the water, for example quinine monosulfate salt है इसका sulfate salt, but ideally it should be water soluble, but it is not a water soluble, salts soluble in the organic solvent, सॉल्ट है जो सॉल्ट जो होते हैं वो आइडियली वाटर सोल्यूबल होते हैं, उसके लिए एक्सेप्शन है, तो which is water insoluble, quinine monosulfate, which is a soluble in organic solvent, lobeline, then apoatropine, then hydrochlorides, apoatropine hydrochlorides, they are soluble in the chlorine, isomerization, so alkaloids, you know that if there is a asymmetric carbon atom, so there may be isomerism, so optically active isomers may show different physiological activity or different pharmacological actions, so for example L-epinephrine, so levoepinephrine, that is 3.5 times more active than D-epinephrine, then L-ergotamine is 3.3 to 4 times more active than D-ergotamine, D-tuberculin is more active than corresponding L form, quinine L form is antimalarial, quinine D form is a antiarrhythmic or using the arrhythmia, racemic mixture also, so racemic mixture, for example atropine, racemic mixture means equal amount of D and L form, so DL atropine is nothing but the racemic mixture which is physiologically active, so it is a actually it is a mixture, it is a racemic mixture of L hyoscyamine, atropine is a racemic mixture of L hyoscyamine, इसके ऊपर नाइपर में क्वेश्चन आ चुका है, आ सकता है, तो यहाँ पे याद रखो, alkaloids are biosynthesized from amino acid and amino acids are nothing but the L type of amino acid, so जो नेचर में अमीनो एसिड होते हैं वो कौन से टाइप के होते हैं, आपके लिवो टाइप के होते हैं, ठीक है, तो लिवो टाइप के अमीनो एसिड है तो डेक्स्ट्रो टाइप का थोड़ी बनेगा, उसका लिवो टाइप के अमीनो एसिड होते हैं, इसलिए लिवो टाइप के मोस्ट ऑफ द अल्कोलाइड्स होते हैं, सो मोस्ट ऑफ द अल्कोलाइड्स दे आर लिवो इन नेचर एंड दे आर एक्टिव, ओके, तो एक्टिव नहीं रहते, लेकिन देर आर सर्टेन एक्सेप्शंस. जैसे यहाँ पे एक्सेप्शंस है डी2 वर्क्यूरालिन. डी2 वर्क्यूरालिन इज मोर एक्टिव देन एल फॉर्म. यहाँ पे याद रखो, बिकॉज is very important for your, if you want to understand the structural activity relationship, the proper fitting of your molecule and receptor should be there. So proper orientation, proper bonding should be there. So proper geometric orientation of your drug and receptor, so that optical activity is important, isomerism is important. तो यहाँ पे याद रखो कौन सा एक्टिव है कौन सा नहीं है. Chemical properties of alkaloid. So whatever nitrogen present in the alkaloid, that may be present as a primary amine, secondary amine, tertiary amine, or quaternary amine. Okay. Wherever the nitrogen is there, so it carry a lone pair of electron, and because of that, these alkaloids are basic in nature. इसके ऊपर एक बार क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. Why alkaloids are basic in nature? So that is because of the lone pair of electron present in the nitrogen, present on nitrogen. यहाँ पे लिखा नहीं है, मैं बोल रहा हूँ, आप लिख लो, राइट डाउन कर लो. That nitrogen may be present as a primary amine, that is a RNH2, or secondary amine or tertiary amine. Primary amine is present in the case of norepinephrine, secondary amine in case of ephedrine, tertiary in case of atropine. इनके ऊपर क्या है, tertiary nitrogen है R3N. Then quaternary amine salt is present in the D-tuberculin. इसके ऊपर कभी कोई क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, chemical properties. So secondary nitrogen is more basic than primary and then tertiary. So most basic कौन सा है, secondary. Saturated heterocyclic amines is more basic than aromatic. So saturated hexacyclic, sorry, saturated hexacyclic मतलब क्या, aromatic नहीं होना चाहिए. जैसे पिपरीडीन, remember phenyl aromatic, एक नाइट्रोजन, पिपरीडीन. So that is the most basic than pyridine. Electron withdrawing group in close proximity to the nitrogen atom will decrease the basicity. So if any electron withdrawing group is there near to nitrogen, that will decrease the basicity of your alkaloid. As electron donating group will increase the basicity. This chemistry of is very important. Extraction and isolation के लिए दो तीन प्रोसेस होता है. First one is a Stas auto process, second one is a Munsky's process, and third one is a Kippenberger's process. Remember the names. Remember the names. The rest of things are not much important. Isolation of alkaloids involves three type of process. First one is a Stas auto process, which is the most common. Okay, इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आ चुका है. Stas auto process is the process for extraction of alkaloids. Okay, then there this Munsky's process and this Kippenberger's process. Okay, तो यहाँ पे डिस्क्राइब किया है यहाँ पे.